Yo, what's going on? In today's video, we'll be reacting to badly translated ancient and British history. So let's see how badly translated this is.
I translated Wikipedia's timeline of ancient history from 160,000 years ago all the way to the Roman Empire, using languages with terrible translation quality. This was the result. 160,000 years ago, Gaia, Homo sapiens love in English. The first record of a 130,000-year-old ship comes from the remote island of Crete and was built millions of years ago. We got like ancient ship. His age is 125 years. Wow. Neanderthals weighed 250 kilograms. Damn. They're just big bones. 164 says, we must return to our thinking. Very true. 120,000 years ago, probably the first written evidence of bones. Just somebody writing, saw a bone the other day. Social use of literature and Stone Age people. Plutonium was discovered in Asia between 12,000 and 90,000 years ago. The Sahara Desert is moist and fertile.
That is
80,000 years ago. Mount Toba erupted violently 75,000 years ago. It is believed to affect humans and other species. However, recent evidence suggests otherwise. I don't know what to believe. And then 70 Phil Bambi Cave, South Africa's oldest painting. What's the Phil Bambi Cave? So I think this is 40 to 67,000 years ago. Neanderthals discovered in Europe. Wallace used the L word.
What's the L word?
Dude, Wallace just used the L word. It's like an ancient slur. North Africa has between 50,000 and 30,000 people. Cold, dry, and rainy. Everything in Africa started in the last epoch. What? Let me ask you something. What are the 45 most popular movies? Coriander is the third oldest stone found in Sulawesi. The first wave of them arrived in modern Europe in 1943 to 1945. Clearly the years have been translated because this is now the Pride era. Pride 45 to 50. Enter Dan Gill. Okay. Another one, Ramen 42. You can see the difference yourself. Although some minerals have been studied for their contribution to human health and development, they have little to do with human civilization and history. The German Paleolithic Museum was founded 42,000 years ago. Wow. Come to my cave museum. Look, we got a lot of rocks on display. It was discovered in East Timor, Australia at the age of 42. Other countries are also doing Lucy's research and technology.
Alright.
1940 AD, Neanderthal dies out. Okay. 40 years of origami culture in Europe. He has been a celebrity for almost 40 years. He's really big in the origami game, okay? He can do a hell of a fold. Round 35. Battle between humans and monsters. Venice Waterfall Hall. Excuse me? Kay is 33 years old and the richest man in Ireland. European beauties are 22 to 33,000 years old. Damn, those 1,000 years old beauties. Such a beauty. 31,000 years ago, last ice age. The mining of 30 kilograms of coal starts at the Vimataka Rock in India, which has the most famous collection of Galendras to date. Summary, Asians and Australians in New Guinea. Thanks. 25,000 years ago, the Urals were the first people to migrate east from Siberia and meet the people of the Far East.
Nice.
Some returned to help the Americans. 24,000 years ago, ancient Eurasian cultural remains, such as images of Venus. It's like a photograph of Venus. The long talks between Europe and the USA have common roots. And then, 24 years old, the pain continues. Nice. 23,000 years ago, wolves are thought to have evolved to share food, habitat, and later food with humans in North Eurasia. Studies on wolves show that inbreeding increases the number of dogs, which in turn increases the number of dogs. Okay. Instead of guns, the Yankees see wolves, children's voices, and monsters. What? Can you run that one by me again? What does that mean? That kind of sounds really dark. 16,000 years ago, I am looking for orchids from the Caucasus to Europe.
Okay.
Vincent the buffalo is found in Le Torque de Aubert cave in the French Pyrenees, now in Spain. I like how it's translated 1,000 years ago to KIA, killed in action. 11,000 years ago, the first sheep arrived in Mesopotamia. He just like rocked up one day. He's like, all right, what are you doing there? Bit of agriculture, mind if I join you? 9,000 years ago, even after 9,000 years, this promise has not been fulfilled. American writer, a temperature of 89,000 to 83,000 degrees Celsius is the beginning of a new world. Decorative flowers and trees. Amazon has changed. This is no different to what happened in the Amazon rainforest. What? It's like his little rant. He hates Amazon, but it's not Amazon, it's the Amazon rainforest. 8,000 BC, most of the Ice Age giants have disappeared. It is widely used in British Columbia to make rice and cheese. 8,000 to 7,000 years, it's food. He started his career as a farmer. This statue was built in the 20th century in the city of Jericho and is now 8.5 meters tall. What is the statue of? Is it rice and cheese? Is it of him? 7200 BC, the first human problem in our time. Mayuki's store is located at 7176 CA Avenue. Is that a real place?
That is very specific.
6000 BC, no. European agriculture in Anatolia. Agriculture spreads through Europe and beyond. Western hunters know different places. Monkeys first appear before Christ. I don't know what that means. It appeared in the 3rd century, the origin of agriculture in southern Mexico. It became an important food in Central America and contributed to the development of agriculture in the region. Sorry, can we go back to the monkeys appearing before Christ? 7,000 BC, agriculture and farming in Papua New Guinea. Early farmers dug wells for irrigation. They talk about bananas, oranges, potatoes, and duck eggs. Good for them. The first store in southern Sweden. Mercury Garden, South Asia. Largest farm and garden. Huh? In April 2006, the journal Nature reported that the first traces of human teeth were found in donkeys.
What? You know what?
Like donkeys just had like a human smile. I'm fucking funny. This season in British Columbia, it is from 5,700 to 4,500 years ago. We're going to save the company. Designed and manufactured in British Columbia. The oil wells. 5259 BC, a collision occurs when the Earth collides with the Sun.
What?
Sorry, that's just like an extinction level event. That's just, yeah, just a one line. So, 4000 BC, he established a kingdom in Mesopotamia. Now, most people think of horses, chickens, and bicycles. Denmark is divided into 2 parts. Denmark in North America and Yenisei in Siberia. This connection is believed to be the first migration of Native Americans and Indians from the Bering Strait to Siberia. Thus, seals spread throughout Eurasia. How is that thus? Yeah. However, a recent study found that Danish immigrants have difficulty learning new languages and skills, according to traditions and customs. 37,000 BC, a 1.5 kilometer long railway was laid near Samar. That's pretty early for a railway, but is it needed if it's only 1.5 kilometers? You could walk it. I'm not slagging them off, but they could have been more ambitious. 3,500 BC, the burning of Egypt began in 3,500 BC. Since then, it has been implemented.
What is it?
3,300 BC, blue is located in Ireland. However, Charlemagne's Cuban Empire began with a few American cities and forts on the coast of Peru. In fact, this is America's oldest government. Nice.
Is it?
3200 BC, what happened in Yemen in the Persian Gulf? When the Europeans arrived in eastern China, the Protestants spoke an Indo-European language. He founded the Indo-European language family. Wow, that's pretty big. This event led to the development and introduction of a lactase therapy in Europe. What is that? Is that some kind of milk therapy? 32,000 BC, curl soap culture begins in Peru. The rise of the original Islamic regime in Iran. Damn. So I thought he was early building mosques before Islam, but they're really early. 3000 BC, Stonehenge launch. The first publication has 56 wooden pillars and boards. Why do they make it sound like a business? Just launched the first iteration of Stonehenge. They call it Stonehenge 1.0. 2800
The
BC,
Woodhead.
Kotidigi tourism has begun in the Andes Valley. Long culture kicks off in China. You found a long culture? 2017, King Sa Kofu King Gisar, this time featuring Horn of Africa, appears for the first time on the album Egypt. He's got a guest act as well, the Horn of Africa on drums. 2334 BC, the Arcadian Emperor is based on and builds on original references to history or radio show. The oldest god seen in America. Huh? 2055 BC, Britain kicks off in UK. He's kicking off. 1700 AD, it says. I'm going to believe it. Indus Valley tourism is over, but the cemeteries continue with Culture H as the beginning of poor tourism boom in North America. 1600 BC, the civilization of Crete is being destroyed by the Minoan bomb on the island of Santorini. You got bombs. The Sun Queen's tree in China sees the light of the Sun Queen's tree moving the system in China. The Heath government begins in the Eastern Mediterranean. 771 BC, time and levies begin in China, and the Hong Kong royal family is cutting back on surveys. Hundreds of scores. 563 BC, the founder of Buddhism was King Saxia, who ruled over most of Canada.
Oh, okay.
529 BC.
I didn't know Buddhism was from Canada.
I didn't know that either.
Very true.
Yeah!
First of Peru surrendered freely in eastern Thrace and took Temple Empire into Libya. 490 BC, Greece's city wins Peru's attack on the battlefield of the coalition. Who is the Justice of the Saints? 475 BC, the War of the United States begins in China when King Zhao became operational. He's a robot or something? China maintains relations with foreign militants. And then Crocodile Family. I don't know. Sorry, the construction of offshore hydroelectric dams began in Athens. Nice. The date is just set to He, so I don't really know what that is, but He, Germany's presence in the non-wave desert region of Libya's Pisan region is growing. That's a secret He law. 331 BC. Alexander will lose Darius III in Peru in a match against Peru. 323
There's a lot of Perus.
BC, death of Alexander, a boss of Babylon. It was a maid guy. There was nothing they could do. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is that? That's like a computer's version of like a sneeze. 261 BC, Cancer War. Excuse me. 255 BC, Georgia sends God to Sri Lanka under the direction of his son, Mahinda Theresa May.
Okay. I'm learning.
Okay.
What a good name. Why is did Theresa May write that, or is she's just that? That's a Bible verse. Why is that a year? 200 BC, Jess's tweeter introduced us to stainless steel, a church that is being built. I got some really bad news, okay. 145 BC, Uzbekistan died.
No!
The president of the Greek government was defeated, and the rest moved
Why
south
is
to found
Uzbekistan?
India and Greece. Rest in peace, Uzbekistan. But 100 BC, the sun shines fast. In conversation with the African state community, Benvento has developed an echo tool that helps reduce steel. 44 AD,
nice,
that
that's
year,
nice.
Julius Caesar defeated Eurovista and divided his country into 4 places in Romania, and then 5. Nice. 27 BC, Kudak, Queen Kudak, leads the Kushi army. Why should 3 countries start importing from Korea? Huh? Why should they? Emperor Claudius died and felt like the title of Nero's son-in-law. Page 68. The death of Emperor Nero himself. The creation of 4 empires in Rome. 98 AD. After a 2-year trial, Emperor Nero died of natural causes and completed his adopted son Trojan. What do you mean completed? 106 AD, after the Romanian, Iraqi, and modern Armenian events, the Roman Empire is at its highest level below the dragon. Miss Trojan died of natural causes.
Not Miss
Hadrian's
Trojan.
adopted son succeeded him. Hadrian took power from Iraq and the United States. Okay. just Hadrian. And he doesn't do anything until he dies. 180 AD, the king of Cambodia has become emperor of Rome.
Again, Cambodia is everywhere.
He's always in there. Cambodia's always doing some wild stuff. Sorry, Democratic Republic of Congo in Taiwan, and then elephants organized the creation of humans. So who was doing all this stuff before? Okay, if elephants have just come together and they were like, hey, I've got a good idea. Humans.
What came first?
What's going on?
The elephant or the humans?
226.
Apparently the elephants.
Property treaties and the rise of the Saskatchewan Empire. This has been mentioned a few times now. And then he defeats God the Third, the Saudi Philippines, and Emperor Valerian. Wow.
He was mad.
God 1 was easy. God 2, walk in the park. God the Third, no trouble. 292 AD, the capital city of the Roman Empire was removed with more blood. 337 AD, Emperor Constantine I died. His son Constantius II, Constantine I, Emperor Constantine II, is an emperor of the Roman Empire. Thank you. The 350 emperors were killed for the second time by only 2 brothers. I think we gotta know who that is. That's he and his brother. New Zealand of Hippo. Thank you. Good. Woo! 395. My forefathers were concerned about all religions except Catholicism. 406. The British destroyed Rome. 439. Car crossing border between Morocco and Tunisia. 476.
Did not have cars
the last
back then.
emperor of Western Rome, Romulus Augustus, Eastern Rome of England, for the title of Duke of Italy. By restoring the empire, he left Udza as the ruler of Germany, often confirming the end of ancient history.
Okay, that's a lot of ancient history I didn't know about. I didn't know elephants created humans. And apparently, we may or may not be on our 4th god.
Yes.
What was the next
He
one?
is just way too strong.
Okay. Who knew he could defeat 3 gods?
I translated Wikipedia's timeline of British history.
I wonder
to
if he
languages with
can even
terrible
rival
translation quality.
Draco.
This was the result. 55
Let's
BC. Romanian general Julius Caesar, good start, first invaded Vietnam and found a battlefield scattered off the coast of Kent. What? I like how he invaded Vietnam and it just was a mistake. He ended up in Kent, which is kind of how you end up in Kent. 54 BC, Caesar invaded the country for the second time and won a third of it, both invading Britain. 43
Nice.
AD, Aureus Plutarchus, along with 40,000 soldiers, invaded Britain, and Clare became part of the Roman Empire, known for its triumph. 142
Clare!
AD, Emperor Hadrian ordered the wall to represent the borders of the British capital, Rome in the north. New Rome? Bradford, it's the Rome of the North. 197, the emergency was born, the birthplace, the city. 208, the emperor and his son, Calhara, imposed a warrant directly in England. Cyprus and Caledonia built fortifications in Galman and the Dead Zone. What is the Dead Zone? Is that Scotland? Is that what they call it these days? The Dead, the Dead Zone? 214, in the UK, Brittany, Gloucester, and the United Kingdom are divided into London and York, respectively. I like how Gloucester's mentioned specifically. The United Kingdom of Brittany, Gloucester, and the United Kingdom. 259, the leader of the revolution, the Latin Post, declared Britain part of the Golden Empire. Good. 270, start building a Saxon coast and increase the penetration rate. Do you want to increase the penetration rate? 274, General Victor rebelled, bowed to the Argentine, and paid tribute to the British prisoners. It's not a very good rebellion, this. It's like 286 to 296. This is not Britain. This is not Britain. Wait a minute. I'm in France. 287.
Not
it
France.
retains its power in Britain and declares itself a superpower. This is some rare it law, you know. I think there's been it law in the past that I haven't paid attention to because can you pay attention to anything in these videos? Karshik defeats the Charming Empire in a naval battle. 296, Julius Canos defeated England near Leicester, killed Alexis and withdrew from Fran. I don't like it when they say they withdrew from somebody. What's that mean? 297, work began on the construction of a new tower near Hadrian. King Stein II returns to Goliath. The first elevator was a shooting range north of the Latin Ferocious Animus.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I understand. And then for some reason
elevators.
it just skips to 1017. I don't know why. I didn't do it. Blame Wikipedia. If you want, let me talk to Larry Page. I don't know who owns Wikipedia.
I understand, man.
Let me talk to Mr. Wikipedia, please. 1017, she was found to be King of England in London. That's huge, Sheila. That's probably the biggest thing she's done. 1042, at Lambeth's wedding, he became King of England because of his alcoholism. That's how you become king. Succeeding Edward as Prime Minister. 1057, on the battlefield, his Scottish son, Mar, died on her way to Lambam, where he became King of Scotland. It's very confusing what's going on right now. 1086, the census starts with the results of some mobile books. Aren't all books mobile? 1100, William was shot during a hunt for a new wild animal in 2019. 1135, Henry died unhealthy. 1154, Stephen died of tuberculosis, and Henry's 100-year-old nephew, Henry I, was awarded the King of England prize. Congrats. Good prize, that. Quite old to get the prize. 1164, Henry II meditated with Markler in the London Constitution to bring the Catholic bishop guilty of peace crimes to court and present it in a secular court. You're guilty of peace crimes. You've been too peaceful. Here in the medieval period, we have to kill at least 3 people a day.
Got
1192, Richard was arrested near Varney when he returned east on the order of the legendary Australian commander Leo Batavi. Richard was released after Austria received 50 tons of cash.
That's a
1237, Henry II
That's a lot
of
of money.
Scotland and Alexander II signed an agreement claiming British territory in Scandinavia, Canpole, and Westland. Where are these places? 1249, Alexander III of Scotland died, and Alexander III ascended to the throne of Scotland. He's back. The return of the king, literally. 1266, the political entities of Scotland and Norway inherited the Spanish Treaty, which led to the demarcation of the Soviet Union. 1272, after the death of Henry X Num X. I don't know, is that actually Roman numerals? He's one of the numbers, one of the Henrys. Edward received the throne of the first generation of Englishmen. 1277, English United, which lasted until 1283. I hope it's you. I hope it's you. And to 1282, Assyria's Lenahate Khan resigned as throne.
He is.
I think the throne was a person just sitting there. 1283, Duffy Abo Crawford died, and Wales were won by England. Don't talk about 1287. 1294, the madcap Apollinaria. What? The huh? Oh, you just can't make up words. What is madcap Apollinaria? 1305, William Wallace, an anti-Japanese Scottish militant, has been arrested on court charges and confronted by Britain.
What do you do?
What are you talking about?
The world's first racist. 1307, following the death of Edward, Edward became King of England in 2018. Took him a while, but he came back. They're all coming back. 1214, Scotland beat England in the Battle of Penang Burgoon. Huh? That sounds like some place in Cambodia. What's burgoon? Is that some kind of goon burger that I don't want to taste?
Ugh.
1222, King Edward II defeated them on the battlefield of Poboris. 1227, Church 3, Edward Church. Edward II is killed. 1377, the death of his brother, Richard II, attracted the British king. I don't want to know. 1399, Henry Brooks gave birth to the British throne and became Henry IV. I mean, that's kind of a better reason to become king than you're an alcoholic. 1413, Henry IV is dead. Oh. And his son, Henry V. But he's also dead, or he's just saying his, yeah. 1415, Henry V returns to England after a landslide victory on the battlefield of Arkansas.
I didn't know that. Now we do.
So a landslide victory, bro. He won all the votes on the battlefield. And then Henry killed 4, and Edwards climbed to the British throne in 2018. A lot's happening in 2018. I was going to say a lot to look forward to, but then that's 6 years ago. 1509. England have arrested Henry VIII and Caitlin Arabio. Is this woman? What has she done? What has she done? 1534. A good job ago, as Henry VIII suggested. 1547. King Edward IV's hat. 1549. England is divided into the south and west. Up to the throne in England, says Marley. Thank you, Marley. 1560, the US Senate has passed a bill to reform churches in Scotland. I'm just going to ignore 1571. Don't want to talk about that. 1582, this has sparked a row between the Knights of Edinburgh University in Scotland. Okay. Oi, oi. Whoa, what are you doing, mate? Where's me bloody armour gone? Oi. 1587, Marley, the Queen of England. Okay, I can see why they were talking about English affairs now. And the Queen of Scots' decision to deliver the goods to Northamptonshire on the 8th of February. 1592, Scout and Agent Book 5 implements the Church of Scotland's Golden Rule Book, which has authority over the elderly community.
Whoa!
1605, Guy Fawkes. That's a good one. And others tried to undermine Queen James IV first and the British Parliament. 1606, in England, King James I declared a row between Virginia. Why do they keep having rows around here? 1625, England v Scotland, James IV. I'm dying. 1707, America was born and became queen. 1721, Robert Werber became the first president of the United States. Don't you remember?
I didn't know that.
1762, the third generation of Potterberry Studs has become president. And then 1763, Jerry Basriel, Gerald, Zori. Is this some kind of like spell I've just cast? 1766. According to the Declaration of Independence, the new government has accepted it. The world's first steel bridge, an iron bridge, was built in Slovakia. Okay, thanks for the update. Thanks for the news. 1801, the United Kingdom and Uzbekistan are already involved. King III is the first king. 1809, he is president. Well then. 1810, the discovery of the ice monster was first discovered in Mary Ann.
Ice monster?
What ice monster? Hello? 1815, there was a battle for water. What's going on? 1833, slavery of the British Empire was confirmed in 1833. The Conservatives were born.
Okay.
How dare
1838,
they?
apricot seals. Two types of the word stamps. 1842, at the beginning of the peace, income tax was introduced. It's over.
And it came from the British.
1848, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels has expressed the hypocrisy of the communists. Pro-capitalist Karl Marx can't hurt you. He's not real. 1854, Dr. John Snow has discovered water contaminated with the virus. Hello? 1887, virus detective Sherlock Holmes first appears in the book. There's a lot of virus talk going on. 1901, Queen Victoria died and King Edward II takes the throne. He said he would be back. The Treaty of That Body was signed by Great Britain and France. 1911, Queen Mary is a latecomer. Under the Act of Parliament of 1918, more than 30 women were allowed to vote for the first time. Technically true.
Woo!
I think there's like several
That's W.
leaders in the country because Bonar Law becomes Prime Minister, Stanley Baldwin is the chairman, and Ramsamat is the president. In 1926, the England captain was not disappointed. According to the People's Congress Act of 1928, women have the right to choose men above the age of 21, okay? 1929, Ray became McDonald's vice president. After my autonomy in Canada, I noticed an increase in knowledge from Canada. And then 1934, LNE 344722222 FNOS 22 FNOS FNOS Allen is on the verge of a crackdown on The Hague. He's had enough. He's been persecuted for his name. 1938, Alnera 4468, Doncaster Greenery broke the record of the fastest field at 203 kilometers per hour. 1948, King Angie of the United States. I don't know what's going on over there. I think we have to ignore it. Otota thought it was the first budget and thought it was the word of the first author who thought it was the author's word. Roger Steyer had 4 minutes to go. Okay. I got some bad it law. 1965, it is dead. The 1967 Offences Act legalizes men over the age of 21. Finally.
Let's go.
Before, when you reach 21, that was it. Made it pretty tricky for women to choose men over 21. 1971, the Liberal Democrats, a few days before the British digital currency. They got like crypto going on in the past. 1984, the attack on the British miners was a huge explosion and a struggle against the government's ban on British coal mining. Marguerite Silesia. 1986, the soap opera's Easter drama became the most popular show in the UK with 30.1 million mirrors. That's a lot of mirrors. 1996, Dolly became the first mammal produced by Coke. He became president of Tanzania. Because why not? 2003, Britain and the United States invades Iraq. It was just some money. 2014, Scottish independence was transferred to the Soviet Union and moved quietly. Okay, Scotland's gone. That's just part of the Soviet Union now. Just write it off. Don't worry about it.
I guess the Soviets still exist in this universe.
Britain voted through the European Union and Qatar. 2018, the Prophet Muhammad was born in Cambridge. Okay. 2019, the resolution referred to the Brexit deal as a surrender to the current public, and the largest recall conference in history failed. 2021, 70-year-old British Princess Elizabeth II will take over the British throne on Thursday, and then Queen Elizabeth II dies at age 96 down. From Thursday to now, that aged her quite a lot. And then 2023, the King is Charles III, Camilla III. Camilla is King and Throne of England, and President of Camilla and other parts of the Commonwealth. All hail Camilla, the true king.
Throne Camilla. Woo! For the British, mainly. Alright, that's enough of you. You can go away. Yep. So, badly translated British history. What'd you think of it?
Why did they have so many kings and queens? They have a problem with power.
I don't know, man. They just switch them out instead of letting them die. So
You do got a point.
Alright, if you guys enjoyed this video, click the like button, subscribe if you're new. Uh, yeah, that's all I got. Peace.
Peace.
Oops.